اهلا بيكم، معاكم اهي نبيل. احنا النهارده ان شاء الله هنكمل lesson 1 in chapter 3, the cellular respiration. We will take today the Krebs cycle. The first scientist who described the cycle was Sir Hans Krebs. Okay, the site of this cycle will be in the mitochondria. Okay, I begin with 2 pyruvic acid. In the glycolysis, I begin with glucose molecule and end it with 2 pyruvic acid molecules. Here I will begin with the 2 pyruvic acid molecules with 2 coenzyme A. Okay, the 2 pyruvic acid molecules have each molecule has 3 carbon. Okay, then this reaction will release each molecule of pyruvic acid will release CO2 and 1 ion of hydrogen. So I have 2 carbon dioxide and 2 hydrogen ions. So the NAD will be NADH, 2 NADH. Okay, and then these 2 pyruvic acid molecules will become 2 acetyl molecules. And where is the coenzyme A will go out from this reaction and go to another cycle. Okay, the 2 acetyl molecules, each molecule has 2 carbon. Why? Because the 2 pyruvic acids release 1 carbon, so the 1 acetyl molecule will has 2 carbons. Okay, then the acetyl molecule, each acetyl molecule will be citric acid. Okay, how? By the reaction with oxaloacetic acid. Okay, note the acetyl molecules can become from the carbohydrates, fats and proteins. Okay, so the fats, proteins molecules can give me the ATP or the energy. Okay, the acetyl molecules with the oxaloacetic acid give me the citric acid. The acetyl molecules 2 carbons, oxaloacetic 4 carbons, the citric acid will be 6 carbons. Okay, then the citric acid will release CO2 and one H ion, so will be NADH. Okay, then the citric acid will become keto-glutaric acid. The keto-glutaric acid will be 5 carbons. Okay, because the citric acid release 1 carbon. Okay, the keto-glutaric acid will release one molecule from the carbon dioxide and one ion of the hydrogen. the NAD will become NADH, okay? Then the ketoglutaric will become succinic acid, okay? The succinic acid will release one molecule of H, so the FAD will become FADH2, the first FADH2 in the cellular respiration, okay? And we release one phosphate group, and the ADP will become ADP, okay? Then the succinic acid will be malic acid. The malic acid, 4 carbons, and the succinic 4 carbons too, okay? The malic, the 4 carbons will be oxaloacetic acid by releasing one ion of hydrogen, and NAD will be NADH. And then the oxaloacetic enters the cycle with another acetyl molecule, and the cycle will be will be again, okay? This is the cycle, the Krebs cycle, okay? The last stage of the cellular respiration, the electron transport chain. Here the FADH2 become 2 ATP, and the NADH and ADH become 3 ATP, okay? So the importance of the electron transport chain is the FADH2 become 2 ATP and NADH become 3 ATP, okay? And in this electron transport chain, the oxygen become the last receptor, because oxygen receives the hydrogen and the electrons from the electron transport chain, and the electron transport chain, the site is in the mitochondria. Okay, and very important in this stage, the cytochromes. Cytochromes is very important in this stage, okay, because it is carry the electrons in this stage, okay? So we will calculate the ATP in the aerobic cellular respiration. First, I have 2 ATP from the glycolysis, directly to ATP, and 2 NADH. The 2 NADH will become 6 ATP in glycolysis, okay? Number 2, in Krebs cycle, I have 2 NADH, so I have 6 ATP, okay, plus 6 NADH will become 18 ATP, and 2 FADH2 will become 4 ATP. Why the 6-NADH and 2-FADH? 2, because the Krebs cycle will happen twice. Why? Because each molecule of acetyl molecules will have the Krebs cycle, and the glucose has 2 molecules of acetyl molecules, so the Krebs cycle will be happen twice. Okay, and now for ATP from the 2-FADH2 plus 2 ATP directly from the Krebs cycle. The NADH and FADH2 become ATP in the electron transport chain. Okay, 2 plus 6 plus 6 plus 18 plus 4 plus 2 will become 38 ATP. This is the number of ATP in the cellular respiration of one molecule of glucose. Now we will go to another part from this lesson, the anaerobic cellular respiration. The anaerobic cellular respiration process, which is living organisms obtain the energy from the food molecules such as glucose in the absence or lack of oxygen. Okay, and I will have small quantity of energy or 2 ATP molecules. The stage of anaerobic respiration, 2 stages: glycolysis and the pyruvic acid will be only one from these choices. Okay, acidic fermentation and alcoholic fermentation. Okay, the acidic fermentation will happen in the animals and bacteria. In the animal cells, especially the muscular cells. Okay, in the muscle cells, when the muscle exert vigorous effort or exercise, they resort to the anaerobic respiration. Okay, where they consume most of the oxygen that present in them and tend to reduce the pyruvic acid into lactic acid by reduction through the combination with the electron which carried on NADH. So the pyruvic acids with the electrons that carried on NADH will become lactic acid by reduction. Okay, and this case known as muscular fatigue. Okay, this is the acidic fermentation in animals cells, or especially in the muscular cells. In bacteria, the pyruvic acid is reduced into lactic acid in the absence of oxygen. Okay, and this is very important for the industry. The dairy industry depend on this type of fermentation, such as cheese, butter, and yogurt. Okay, this is the acidic fermentation. The alcoholic fermentation as in yeast and some plant tissues. Okay, the pyruvic acids were reduced into ethyl alcohol, or I can call it ethanol, and carbon dioxide is released. Okay, it is very important in the industry of some products such as alcohol and bread industries. Okay, now this is the experiment. I have flask, stud flask, and sugary solution and yeast. Okay, and conduction tube in turbid lime water. I will found that the CO2 involved into the turbid lime water. Okay, why? Because the yeast performs an anaerobic respiration process, so the CO2 gas is involved that causes the turbidity of lime water. Okay، كده انا بقى خلصت the cellular respiration. اتمنى ان شاء الله تكونوا فهمتوه. ان شاء الله المره الجايه ندخل في respiration in the living organisms. اتمنى ان شاء الله تكونوا فهمتوا. كان معاكم اي نبيل من قناه بيولوجي.com.